guys, welcome to the 46th C# tutorial that I'm making for the new Boston. This tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to use the is keyword and the cast operator because they work together. So all you're going to need for this tutorial is a button. And once you have that on your form, just double click on it. So to start off here, we're just going to create an object, and we're going to set it equal to a string. Let's call it my object. Set it equal to a string, and that string will just say Adam. All right, and now we're going to create an if statement to see what type of object this is. Since the object can be set equal to anything, like a subcategory of object would be like a string right here. So we can check to see if this is a string, and in order to do that, we're just going to type if, and then object, or whatever you call your object, is, and then a string. And this will return true only if our object is equal to a string. And since our object is equal to a string, then we can do something with that. And let's just make sure that this works. So we'll just have a message box show saying test, I guess. And we should get a message box here when we click on the button because our object is indeed a string. Yep, it is a string. So now we could show this object in a message box by doing the object's name, which is my object, and then .toString. But there's another way. It's called the cast operator. And what you're going to want to do is just put 2 parentheses before the name of your object. And then inside of these parentheses, you're going to want to type the name of the variable that you want to convert it into. And we want to convert it into a string. And the only way that you'll be allowed to do this or use this cast operator is if this returns true. If you have an is statement or an if statement using the is operator to check if your variable is another type of variable. So like if we tried to cast this as an integer, it wouldn't work because this is a string and it's not an integer. So now when we debug here and click button 1, we should get a message box just saying Adam. Yep, because basically it converted this object into a string because we told it to be a string. But if we type like int in here, we'll get an error. It says cannot convert from int to string. So yeah, we just can't cast it. And you can also do this with other types of variables, not just like object to like a string or something. You could do a control. So if we had a control, let's say control, call it my control, and set the equal to the button on our form. Well, button 1 is a control, but more specifically, it's a button. So we can check to see if our control is a button. And if it is a button, then what we're going to do right here is we're going to cast it into a button. We're going to create a new button, let's call it my button, and we'll set it equal to casting our my control variable right up here into a button. So we can just do my control right here, and now since my control is actually a button, we will create a new button variable casting my control as a button. So it'll basically convert this into a button, and then now we can do something with this button. So I'm just going to have the button's text be displayed in a message box. So I'm just going to do inbox here and display my button, my button dot text. So now when we debug, click button 1, we should get button 1 since that's the text of this button. Yep. Now there's something else you can do. You can also use the as keyword. So, and that's just an alternative to the cast. So we can do my control as a button. And that just does the exact same thing. And it will convert this control into a button because it's like casting my control as a button, and it'll do the exact same thing as before. It's just an alternative to the cast. Yep. And that would work with our objects too. created our object up here. Then we could create a new string. Equals our object as a string. So we'll just convert it into a string, but we're going to want to check to see up here if it's a string in fact. And then we can just show that string in a message box. So now when we debug, we should just get hello. Yep. And having an if statement to check if it is a variable, you don't need to have that there, but it's usually good just to make sure that this cast is possible. Otherwise, you'll get an error, and you don't want errors. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial on the is keyword, the as keyword, and the cast operator. So see you guys.